All right, pop, pop, pop. Another server drop. Welcome back. We're going to go ahead and tear up a small little episode here talking about something called command injection. Now, when we talk about commands, we're basically talking about shells. And if you don't know what a shell is, it's essentially the command prompt. So if you're on Linux, you have what they call a terminal shell. Looks kind of like that. And then on Windows, you have your regular command prompt. So in order to get shell commands running or basic command line stuff running, this is what they call command injection. Now on this one, the actual web server itself, I believe, yes, it's being hosted on Linux. So we'll be using Linux commands for this next one here. So what we're going to be doing real quick here is on this DNS lookup, this is an example of a web application that is actually tied in with an underlying shell that's on the actual server itself. Now, the way things should happen is that in the public directory that a web server has designated for end users and just generic users from all over the globe, whoever's tapping into this web server here, they're allowed to go into this directory and this directory only. Obviously, the web server is hosted on a physical server machine, and there's other directories in there that are sensitive, obviously, that the actual web server runs on. But most web server software and web server administrators are hopefully going to go ahead and restrict the traversal to different directories within that web server. When they don't, then you have something they call command injection and directory traversal. Now, every time I always go ahead and attack a web application that gives me something like this, as far as a form of some sort, the very first thing I try every single time is I just try the web page. I see, what the heck does it do? I don't know what it does, so let's go ahead and try this bad boy out. It's asking for a host name or IP. I'm going to go ahead and say 127.0.0.1, and we're going to click on Lookup DNS and find out what this thing does. And let's see here. So it looks like, from the looks of the output here, it looks like it's doing some sort of dig command or NS lookup or some sort of shell command to pull up an IP address DNS lookup. So knowing that it's actually pulling information from the shell, what I would like to try to do is I would like to see if I can get it to, do some other things. Now, when you actually string commands together in a shell, you use what they call a semicolon. So, for instance, if I wanted to navigate to the var directory and I wanted to list directories, I could say cd /var, but then I can do a semicolon to separate that from another command, and then ls. Now, it's not the same as a pipe symbol where it takes input and turns it into, where it takes output and turns it into input. But it basically just strings a bunch of commands together. So I can say cd over to var, then ls, what's in var, in other words, list of directories. Then I can say, go back to my root directory. So I hit enter, and you can see it goes all the way to var. It runs what's in var as far as listen to the directories, and then it brings me right back to root because I'm stringing them together with these semicolons, some basic Linux stuff there. So now that you kind of know what the semicolon is for, what I can do is I can say, yeah, Mr. Web Page, I'll go ahead and do exactly what you're telling me to do, but I'm going to try a little bit something different. I'm going to do a semicolon after that command, and then I'm going to say ls, just to see if it actually is vulnerable to a command injection. So I'm going to click on Lookup DNS. Let's see here. And would you look at that? So right there, it does run the first command just like we thought, okay? And but it also runs all of this, pop, 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 love and life. It's awesome. So we were able to see what's in the directory, all kinds of good stuff in here. Now, in a Linux machine, our main objective probably would be to get to the root directory. That would be pretty awesome because there may be some super secret sensitive files there. There isn't in this case, but let's pretend there is. So what I can do is I can do something they call the directory traversal. Now, I don't even need to run the other command. I don't even need to run the 127 anymore. I can just do a semicolon like that just to shorten things up. So I can do a semicolon, then I can say cd // That's telling me go up 3 directories from where I'm at. Now, if you're not familiar with the Linux data structure of where the web servers are hosted, in this particular case here, the web server is in var and www, okay? So here's where I should be allowed in and looking at. But then as I try to go up from this directory and then try to go up another directory back to home, back to the file system, and then over to root, which is what we want to kind of get to right there, then I need to do what they call directory traversal. Now, I don't know where I'm at by doing these three here, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop another semicolon and then an ls to find out where did we end up at. So we'll go ahead and look up DNS. All right, so it looks like it popped us into the top of the file system, which is good. That's what we want. So in this case, now we want to be able to cd over to root, because you never know, there may be some super secret sensitive things laying in wake over there. So once again, we'll do our semicolon, cd ... Whoops, messed that one up. There we go. ls, we don't need to do the ls here. We know we're in the / directory, which is the root of the entire file system. So then we'll say cd over to root, and then we'll go ahead and semicolon, and then we'll do an ls to see what is in root. And look up DNS, and let's go ahead and see what's going on. And there we go. Poppity pop, pop, pop. Another server drop, rubbing, loving life. We are in the root directory, and we are able to see what's in there. Now, if these were super secret sensitive, vnc.log, there may be some credentials in that particular one. There may be some credentials or sensitive information in this one, and what you could do is you could cat those out as well. As a matter of fact, let's try that real quick just to kind of see if the cat command will work on this. So we'll go ahead and run the last one real quick. Now, I haven't tried this ahead of time, so I don't know if it will work. We'll see what happens. So we'll do an ls, and then we'll go ahead and try to cat out the vnc.log like that, like so. And then we'll go ahead and look up DNS, and let's see what happens. Let's see here. All right, very good. So it works. So it brought us over to root. We were able to log over into root. We were able to go ahead and see the actual what was in the root directory. And then from there, we were able to cat out what was in the actual VNC log. Nothing really special here, but you never know sometime when you're actually breaking into a system. A lot of times people will hold some sensitive information, like maybe payroll information, things of that nature in the root directory, which is pretty awesome. So there you go, a little poppity pop, pop, pop for your day. And we're tearing up the what was called command injection. It's just another one of those many top 10 lists that are in the OWASP top 10. This, by the way, this Matilla Day, it does go through almost all, well, actually all of the top 10 stuff. And as you can see, injections are on the top of the list, usually SQL injection. But in this case, I did one from the command injection section here. Okay, so it is one of the top attacks in the world today, very popular stuff. All right, thank you for watching our video. We're going to be doing some more web application stuff as we go through, as well as some other different cool hacking goodness. And I hope you guys continue to stay tuned. Thank you so much.